premium credit cards offer some of the biggest rewards you can earn, but with major shakeups lately, like changes to popular perks, an entirely new refresh to an all-time favorite, new launches, and a card that everyone's watching, picking the right premium card has never been trickier. So in this video, we'll cover the key updates you need to know, break down what actually matters about these cards, and compare their standout features, so you can pick the one that makes the most sense for you and maximizes your rewards. Kicking things off with a new player in this space, making a splash with some never-seen-before perks, like a massive 12 times points in a travel category we've never seen this high before, a solid 6 times in a category we've never seen period, and being a new MasterCard that's first of its kind. And that's with the Citi Strata Elite, Citi's big push back into the premium card space, where the 12 times points is on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked through their portal, 6 times on all air travel booked through their portal, 6 times on restaurants during city nights between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern on Fridays and Saturdays, which is kind of odd they don't expand into Sunday, 3 times on restaurants otherwise, and a slightly elevated 1.5 times on everything else. There's also a limited time offer of 80,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months, all of this at a $595 annual fee. Now, with most premium cards, the annual fee can be offset by the perks it provides as long as you're able to use them. On paper, Citi values these at nearly $1,500, but most will probably not get anywhere near that, like the Black Lane credit, which I've never heard of until this card, and Priority Pass or the Global Entry TSA PreCheck credit, which can be found on other cards as well. Or there are no annual fee ways to get some of these perks, like the US Bank Altitude Connect card, 4 free lounge visits, and a slightly lower credit for Global Entry. What could come in handy though is the slightly higher $300 hotel credit on stays of 2 nights or more when booked through their portal, the $200 splurge credit for up to 2 brands listed. Best Buy is the main one that stands out to me, and Admirals Club lounge passes, although between the big US airlines, the quality is probably below that of Delta or United. Now, one fact about this card that flies under the radar is that it's the first MasterCard in the new and premium World Legend tier, providing access to Soho Friends, exclusive dining, credits to several brands like Peacock, Alo, Booking.com, in addition to priceless experiences, MasterCard Concierge, and more, all sort of matching some elevated perks you get on a Visa Infinite type card. That's it for me. The main value here would really just be that hotel credit and the splurge credit, both of which when combined still don't offset that $595 annual fee, and that the prices through the Citi travel portal are typically not that competitive. What does make the card more interesting though are the ways to use the Citi thank you points. First off, it seems like the Citi thank you points earned on the Strata Elite will still redeem at 1 cent per point for cashback, even though the Strata Premier card has a lower 0.75 cents per point. But as with most premium cards and these currencies, transfer partners is where you get the most value, which is especially true now that American Airlines is a transfer partner, which is a significant bump up for the value of these points. Only 60,000 points needed to fly business class to Asia, either from the East or West Coast. Yes, please. We'll get to different examples maximizing rewards on these different issuers later in the video. But for now, let's see how this card stacks up to the newly refreshed and somewhat polarizing Chase Sapphire Reserve card. For years, it's been the easiest premium card to use, offering consistent elevated value, but that may not be the case anymore. Starting with the earning rates, you'll earn 8 times points for purchases through the Chase travel portal. That's lower than before for hotels and car rentals, but higher than before when it comes to flights and a couple other categories, though still well below the 12 times points on portal hotels on the Citi Strata Elite. 4 times points on hotels and flights booked direct with the company, a win for those wanting to avoid the risk of third parties, and a slight upgrade from the previous 3 times on travel, though now more restricted to just these 2 categories. 3 times on dining worldwide, pretty standard, and your baseline 1 times on everything else. For a limited time though, which may be over depending on when you watch this video, they're offering 100,000 points and a $500 Chase promo travel credit when you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, all at a hefty $795 in annual fees. The $300 easy-to-use travel credit still stays, thankfully, and in my view, the other credits that are offered on this card now are generally more usable than on the Citi Strata Elite, especially if you already travel and dine at some nice places occasionally. Standouts include the $500 credit to the Edit Hotel Collection, split $250 every half year. Just this and a flexible travel credit already offset the annual fee, plus you get perks like breakfast, property credit, and sometimes upgrades. I just wish the footprint of the Edit Collection was wider because FHR and the Hotel Collection on the Amex side still has the edge in coverage. You'll also get IHG One Rewards second highest tier, so Platinum status, finally some status, Priority Pass and Chase Sapphire Lounge access with 2 guests, and global entry, TSA pre-check credits. But even that said, things are still just getting started because there's still hundreds upon hundreds of dollars of more credits when you scroll down the page. Like the $300 dining credit towards Sapphire exclusive tables, split $150 again every half year, something I would definitely use among a few other benefits where if you use a bit of each can really stack up in additional value. My thoughts here, the card is now more tailored for a smaller audience, but an audience that leans towards higher spending, and those who don't mind missing a credit here and there. If you enjoy premium stays, nice restaurants, or again just use that flexible credit and the Edit Collection, this card can fit really well. But the biggest and most debated change is replacing the old 1.5 cents per point value you can consistently get with Chase points through the portal to something that's now called Points Boost, where the value is a baseline 1 cent per point, but boosted up to 2 cents per point on select properties or flights. The catch? Now there's no elevated guarantee of value for your points. If your flight or hotel is not points boosted, you're getting the regular 1 cent per point. The exact list and value is a black box that Chase can tweak anytime they want, typically towards the negative side with devaluations, and that most of the points boosts that do qualify probably lean towards more premium stays and flights. Great if that's your travel style, like getting 2 cents per point towards premium flights with low effort. That can be pretty solid, though again, travel portal pricing is sometimes not competitive compared to others. If you applied before June 23rd, 2025, any points earned up until October 26, 2025 can still be redeemed at that solid 1.5 cents per point rate through October 26, 2027, or through Points Boost if that gets you better value. Overall though, the high annual fee will scare people off, but those within their target lifestyle, you could actually extract even more value now than before. That said, if the high $795 annual fee is a deal breaker, this next card might be better for you. At just $395 in annual fees, the Capital One VentureX is the cheapest premium card of the bunch, though it's facing a shakeup to one of its biggest perks you probably will not like. Starting with what hasn't changed, you'll still earn a solid 10 times miles for hotels and car rentals through their portal, slotting between the Strata Elite and the Sapphire Reserve, although the 5 times miles on flights booked through the portal is lower than the other two, and a flat 2 times miles on all other spend, which makes it one of the more simple structures out there and why it's still my choice of a catch-all card. It's also one of the easiest premium cards to break even on for the annual fee. Between the $300 travel credit through the portal, which I value at face value given Capital One has consistently shown competitive pricing compared to other places I've looked, pair that with a 10,000 mile anniversary bonus worth at least $100 or more when it comes to travel, and you're already at $400 of value before anything else. Like that 75,000 mile welcome bonus after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. But here's the bad news. The card was a lounge powerhouse, and I've recommended it to a bunch of friends on this benefit alone. But starting February 1st, 2026, that changes dramatically. No free free guests for Capital One lounges or Priority Pass lounges unless you hit a very high annual spend, which most probably will not. And your free authorized users will no longer have guest access unless they pay $125 per year each to unlock it. The card still has its strength, like Hertz President Circle status, and some solid earning rates, but it's a big step back on this lounge change alone. And while Venture Miles are flexible, they are a step below Chase and American Express in my book, with 0.5 cents per mile when it comes to cashback, and only 1 cent per mile when used towards travel, and no standout transfer partners that the other ecosystems don't have. So for me, the VentureX slips from an S-tier card down to an A or even an A-. Now, while the VentureX is all about simplicity, the American Express Platinum card takes the complete opposite. Stacked with credits, benefits, and luxury perks for some of the highest potential value out there, but also the most work to unlock that value. Earning rates are modest, giving you 5 times points when booking flights direct or through their portal up to a certain cap. Still a standout, though the Sapphire Reserve's 4 times is getting close. 5 times points when booking hotels through their portal, and then 1 times points for everything else. This card has never really been a daily spender. The multipliers only shine when it comes to portal bookings or booking flights direct. So the real draw here, first, the welcome bonus of up to 175,000 points after spending $8,000 in the first 6 months, which is some of the highest bonuses on any personal card, which can also be said for its high $695 in annual fees. And second, the credits, which can be valuable for the right person, but not automatic for everyone. There are a ton of perks on the card, which Amex values at over $1,500, which is still inflated in my opinion, but not as much as the Strata Elite ones. And with any card, my aim at least is to break even year after year, which I thankfully do here with a $200 hotel credit, $200 airline fee credit, $200 Uber cash benefits, and the $100 Sex with Avenue benefit, and sometimes a bit of the others. Another perk the Platinum card still dominates in, the lounge access. Centurion Lounge, Priority Pass, Plaza Premium, still with guests for those two, Delta Sky Club with some restrictions, and more, making it still my main travel perk card for at least the foreseeable future. Add in Hilton and Marriott Gold status, plus access to fine hotels and resorts or the hotel collection, and you've got a card that's been paving the way for what it means to be a premium card before it was cool. That said, although not much has changed yet, it's pretty much guaranteed at this point where there will be a massive refresh later this year, likely bumping up the annual fee to a rumored $895. Historically though, most refreshes mean existing cardholders before a certain cutoff date will have the current perks, new perks, and keep the current pricing for a little while longer. So applying for it now could lock that in, but no guarantees. For the right person, this card is still the highest ceiling premium card out there. So now that we've gone through each premium card, how do we actually choose which one? Everyone's value for each ecosystem will be different, but assuming equal value for all the points, here's my order. For earning rates, all 4 focus heavily in travel and dining. If you're fine booking through the portal, the Citi Strata Elite wins with its 12 times points for hotels booked through the portal. But if you prefer booking direct, avoiding third parties, the Sapphire Reserve's 4 times points on direct flight and hotel bookings is better. I'd call this category a split between these 2 cards. For credits and ways to offset the annual fee, the Sapphire Reserve takes the cake here. Thanks to its flexible $300 travel credit and some high-value credits like the $500 credit to the Edit hotels, these 2 alone can offset the fee already for many people. Second place is a bit of a toss-up. The VentureX is for simplicity, or the Amex Platinum card for its highest potential upside if you're willing to manage all of these credits. With the Citi Strata Elite last here, lounge access, the Platinum card still wins with Centurion Lounge, Plaza Premium, Priority Pass, and more. But the Sapphire Reserve is a pretty close second, especially if you're near an airport that has a Sapphire Lounge. The VentureX card sits in third, especially with its upcoming changes to the guest policies. With the Strata Elite trailing again, although I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years we see these Citi Strata Lounges pop up as well. And when it comes to extra travel perks, I think the Amex Platinum still wins here, getting Marriott and Hilton Gold status. plus a great selection when it comes to FHR or the hotel collection hotels. But the Sapphire Reserve comes in a close second with its IHG Platinum status and the Edit hotels. Now, when it comes to redemption value, that's where things really diverge and gets really personal. First off, if you don't care about transfer partners, then Chase might be best for you, where points boost can still give you solid value, sometimes even more than before, although it's unclear which flights and hotels will get points boosted and into the future. Otherwise, it really depends on which transfer partners you prioritize. For Chase, the biggest draw would be Hyatt, getting around 2 cents per point or more for low to medium effort, especially in major cities. For Citi, American Express might be a big draw, like 60,000 miles to fly business class in JAL from anywhere in the US over to Japan, or one-to-one transfers to EVA, unlocking 75,000 mile business class flights over to Taipei with good availability. Amex has ANA as a standout, especially with recent changes allowing for one-way award redemptions, like with the amazing ANA business class for as low as the low 50,000s. And with Capital One, they don't really have a standout partner, maybe EVA, although the transfer ratio is a bit worse. But there's still a great way to earn points from programs that are shared with some of the other issuers, like transferring to Flying Blue and flying to Europe for as low as 60,000 miles in business class, or my other favorite with Aeroplan with so many different options. The point is, you have to decide if these transfer partners is right for you, and if they are, which transfer partners have the sweet spots that you want to book, and if you're willing to put in that work to do so, and possibly following my in-depth redemptions I made over the years here and here to make sure you're not wasting any of your hard-earned rewards, and I'll see you over there.